काल संजय राऊत साहेबांना रात्री 12 चालू काल सकाळी 7:30 वाजता ईडीचे अधिकारी माझ्या घरी आले, संजय राऊत साहेबांच्या घरी आले आणि 7:30 वाजल्यापासून जवळजवळ 4-4:30 वाजेपर्यंत ते माझ्या घरी सर्च करत होते. 5 वाजता त्यांना ईडीच्या ऑफिसमध्ये घेऊन आले. 5:30-6 वाजता ईडीच्या ऑफिसला आम्ही सगळे पोहोचलो. रात्री 12:40 संजय राऊतना ईडीने अटक केलं असं आम्हाला इंटिमेशन दिलं. आज सकाळपासून आम्ही न्यायालयामध्ये त्यांची वाट पाहत होतो, परंतु 12:30-1 वाजता त्यांना जे रुग्णालयात घेऊन गेले. तिथून त्यांना आता न्यायालयीन सेशन कोर्टमध्ये घेऊन आले. सेशन कोर्टामध्ये आपल्याला माहिती आहे आमची पूर्ण न्यायव्यवस्थेवर, संपूर्ण न्यायालयावर आमचा विश्वास आहे आणि या विश्वासाला सार्थ आज आम्ही ठरलेलो आहोत. आज ईडीने त्यांच्याकडे 8 दिवसाची पीसी मागितली होती, परंतु न्यायालयाने 8 दिवसाची पीसी न देता त्यांना 3 दिवसाची पीसी दिली आहे. 4 तारखेला त्यांना परत एकदा न्यायालयामध्ये हजर करतील आणि मला विश्वास आहे की संजय राऊतांनी कुठल्याही प्रकारचा भ्रष्टाचार केलेला नाही. त्यांना फक्त शिक्षा एवढीच आहे की भारतीय जनता पार्टीच्या विरोधामध्ये बोलणं, माननीय पक्षप्रमुख उद्धवसाहेब ठाकरे यांना कुंकुवत करणं, या एकाच याने संजय राऊतांना अटक केली आणि मला खात्री आहे की न्याय व्यवस्था आपलं काम चोख करेल आणि संजय राऊतांना न्याय मिळेल.
Justice will be done. We have full faith in our judicial system.
देखो कल 7:30 बजे मेरे घर पे, संजय राउत साहब के घर पे ईडी के 20-22 अधिकारी आए थे. 7:30 बजे से 4:30-5 बजे तक उन्होंने घर सर्च किया, कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट्स लेके गए. 5 बजे हम लोग घर से निकले, 6 बजे हम ईडी के ऑफिस में आए. तब से 7 घंटा इंतजार करने के बाद रात को 12:40 को संजय राउत को अरेस्ट दिखाया. आज हम इंतजार कर रहे थे 12 बजे से कोर्ट में, लेकिन आज 1:30-1:15 बजे उन्हें जे रुग्णालय लेके गए, उनकी मेडिकल हो गई. अभी उनको कोर्ट हाजिर किया. हमारा पूरा विश्वास न्याय व्यवस्था पे है. ईडी ने उनके 8 दिन की पीसी मांगी थी, लेकिन आज 8 दिन की पीसी न देते हुए न्यायालय ने उनको 3 दिन की पीसी दी है. 4 तारीख को संजय राउत साहब को फिर एक बार कोर्ट के हाजिर करेंगे और हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि न्याय व्यवस्था परफेक्ट न्याय हमें देगी और संजय राउत को जल्दी ही बाहर आ जाएंगे.
That's Sunil Raut, Sanjay Raut's brother. Let's keep listening in a few moments from now, essentially saying that the case against his brother is entirely fabricated. Remember Sanjay Raut, who you see there on the left-hand side of your screen, waving to the media. The Enforcement Directorate wanted him in custody for 8 days in connection with a scam or an alleged land scam. That's what the ED says. Sanjay Raut maintains that this is entirely fixed and this is political revenge of sorts. He is in the Uddhav Thackeray side of the Shiv Sena, and therefore this was political vendetta taking place. Eventually the Enforcement Directorate got 4 days in the custody of the ED. This footage now is of Sanjay Raut leaving for a sessions court, I believe, in connection with this particular case. Let's go across to Sohit Mishra. We're just going to get him in a little while from now. But as you can see over here, the arrest of Sanjay Raut, one of the tallest leaders in the Shiv Sena, that faction of the Shiv Sena affiliated with the Thackeray's, somebody who stood firmly with the Thackeray's. He has made the assertion that this particular case, which involves an alleged land scam, is something which has been foisted upon him and his family, that there is no illegality whatsoever. The Enforcement Directorate has said that the arrest which took place yesterday took place after 2 occasions in which they tried to reach out to Sanjay Raut to question him, but he was not present. He was in Parliament earlier on. So that arrest has now taken place. Questioning will now take place. He's moving to another court as well in this particular case. Yesterday, he gave his mother a hug as he left, and he was taken into the ED's custody. But today Uddhav Thackeray has made a very strong statement where he's reached out to the family and to Sanjay Raut, saying that he is a true Shiv Sainik, somebody who is hung on by the party despite a lot of deserters, and that he backs him to the hilt. A lot of questions continue to be asked on the misuse in the Enforcement Directorate. On the one hand, you've got the Supreme Court, which in a very strong verdict has backed the Enforcement Directorate and the grounds of arrest, particularly in money laundering cases. But if you look at the conviction rate of the Enforcement Directorate, then there are those who would suggest that it is grossly an overreach in terms of how it's used. As an example, the raids have gone up 26 times since 2014 when this government at the centre came into power. The conviction rate has been low. As an example, between 2014 and 2022, there have been more than 3,000 Enforcement Directorate raids. Between 2005 and 2014, only 112. The government, for its part, argues that increased searches show the government's commitment to prevent money laundering and other cases. But the conviction rate, and this is what we were talking about, between 2014 and 2022 is just 2.59%. And therefore, this does raise questions which have been raised time and again by the opposition, saying that the conviction rate is low because the ED goes after people against whom there are no real charges. But again, this, as with all other cases, will need to go through the entire process. Eventually, there will be a judge in a court who decides the case against Sanjay Raut. Let's go across to Sohit Mishra. Sohit, we've been listening in to the brother of Sanjay Raut a little while back. What exactly has he said?
Sunil Raut, brother of Sanjay Raut, who is also an MLA, Vishnu, he said the same thing, that the court heard the entire matter. He basically did summarize of whatever happened in the court. He said that while we said that this is being done due to the political pressure and the central agencies being misused, the court has sent Sanjay Raut for 4 days of custody. This is what Sunil Raut had just said. He just summarized what happened inside the court. Now, if I tell you what did exactly the ED official, the ED advocate said inside the court, they said that Praveen Raut, who is the director of Guru Ashish company, he was one of the developers who is behind the entire Patra Chawl redevelopment scam. Now, in the Patra Chawl redevelopment scam, there was a chawl that needed to be redeveloped. While the entire redevelopment did not happen, the same piece of land was sold to 9 builders and they earned more than 1,000 crores. Now, the ED has said that out of this, while Praveen Raut did not even spend a single rupee, he received 112 crore rupees, out of which he gave 1 crore 6 lakh rupees was transferred into the accounts of Sanjay Raut and Varsha Raut, which means Sanjay Raut and his family members were benefited and they were beneficiary of over 1 crore 6 lakh rupees, which was out of this scam. Apart from that, they have also said that this money was used by Sanjay Raut to purchase zameen in Kihin Beach, near Kihin Beach in Alibag.
Right.
And they have also said that Praveen Raut worked as a front man of Sanjay Raut. This is what the ED has said inside the court. And that is why they wanted his custody for 8 days. They said that he was not cooperating. We asked him, we summoned him 3 times, but he came only once. And the next 2 times he did not come. On the other hand, Sanjay Raut's lawyer said that it has nothing to do with the case. This is because he is a spokesperson from Shiv Sena. He has been criticizing the central government. He has been very vocal about the central and the current state government. There are elections that are coming in the state, and just before that, Sanjay Raut is being arrested. While he was arrested late night on Sunday, the ED officials did not allow him to move since 7 AM in the morning when they were at his house. This is what Sanjay Raut's lawyer claimed. But after hearing both the sides, the judge has sent Sanjay Raut to 4 days custody to ED. While the ED had demanded a custody for 8 days, they have got the custody of 4 days. So the big thing which comes out of this is the ED is claiming that Praveen Raut, one of the accused in the entire Patra Chawl redevelopment, they are claiming that he was acted as a front man of Sanjay Raut. And in fact, in the year 2010 and 11, he every month gave 2 lakh rupees that was transferred into Sanjay Raut's account from Praveen Raut account. This is what is being said by the ED officials inside the court. Now they have 4 days custody of Sanjay Raut where they'll try to interrogate this entire issue, and at least for 4 days Sanjay Raut will be in ED's custody, after which he will be once again presented right before the court. This happened on the very same day when former Chief Minister of Maharashtra Uddhav Thackeray visited his residence. He was at Sanjay Raut's residence, met his family members, later also did a press conference and said that as of now, whoever speaks against the government, whoever is in the opposition is being targeted, and that is exactly what has happened with Sanjay Raut. This is what Uddhav Thackeray has also said while he addressed the press conference at Matoshri's residence today. But while Sanjay Raut was very aggressive yesterday as well when he came to the ED office, while he left from his house, as of now the court has sent him to 4-day custody. Until 4th of August, he will be under ED's custody.
All right, until the 4th of August under the ED's custody. How has, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray actually reached out to the family of Sanjay Raut and entirely backed him in this particular case?
Well, Vishnu, he himself went to Bhandup, which is in eastern suburbs in Mumbai, where Sanjay Raut stays, where he speaks to the media every morning. He met his mother. In fact, yesterday, if you remember, Sanjay Raut, a video went viral in which we could see Sanjay Raut's mother crying when Sanjay Raut was detained. He hugs his mother before leaving with the ED yesterday when he left from his house. So that video went viral, and today's the former Chief Minister as well as the Shiv Sena's party president Uddhav Thackeray himself reached out. He went to their house, met the entire family, sat with them, and then came back and he did this press conference. Now, why is this important for Uddhav Thackeray as well? When even 40 MLAs left Shiv Sena and they formed a new government where Eknath Shinde is the Chief Minister, Sanjay Raut has been that one person who was a loyalist of the Thackeray family. He has been attacking the central government and the current state government. He has been talking in favor of Uddhav Thackeray. In fact, if you remember, on 26th and 27th of July, the interview of Uddhav Thackeray was released in 2 parts. This interview was also done by Sanjay Raut. Sanjay Raut is also the editor of the party's mouthpiece, Samna, where he writes the editorials, which in many days also becomes headlines throughout the news channels. So Sanjay Raut in a way has been very close to the Thackeray family. He, not only during this entire issue, even in 2019, if you remember, when the MBA government was being formed, it was Sanjay Raut who used to come out, speak to the media, challenge the government. In fact, regarding this very matter of the ED, I remember it was 15th of February when Sanjay Raut called for a press conference in Shiv Sena Bhavan in Dadar. There he said that I was reached out by few BJP leaders as well as ED officers. They told us that they are trying to topple the Maharashtra government, and if I keep supporting the Maharashtra government, which was the MBA government right back then I'll be in trouble. But I will keep on supporting that. 5-6 months later, Vishnu, what we see is that the government changes. Eknath Shinde is the new Chief Minister. Uddhav Thackeray is no longer the Chief Minister, and Sanjay Raut, whose property by that time around more than 11 crore was seized. His wife was once called into the, he was once summoned by the ED and was asked to be present later. Sanjay Raut himself on 1st July was present in the ED office for more than 10 hours, was summoned again on 20th and 27th of July, and later now he has been arrested, and now the court has sent him to a 4-day custody till 4th of August. So in a way, he was a very important man and known as the right hand man of Uddhav Thackeray, and that is why at a time when most of the Shiv Sena leaders, or MLAs at least, are with Eknath Shinde, Uddhav Thackeray reached out to Sanjay Raut's family and tried to send a message that he is standing with the people who stood with him, and that is the reason he will be supporting and keep fighting for Sanjay Raut.
Okay, right. So thanks very much for sharing those details with us.